Hello there YouTubers, I'm Gordon Pilcher and welcome to Transport Fever 2. We have a huge map here. Now I am going to be up front and honest with you, this may crash. I've been having the odd crash with using experimental maps. I had to reinstall everything because a few weeks ago because we're having problems with when I was using the onboard camera, I was just absolutely clogging up my primary platform drive. So I installed another drive, and in doing so, when I did it, I installed Steam and Transport Fever onto my D drive. Now it's a brand new drive, but since I did it, what I'm going to do here. What am I going to do? I'm going to draw a road like that, which sort of looks a little bit odd. But I can do that because this is my map. I'm entitled to do whatever I like on my map. Just like you can do whatever you like on your map. It's not the biggest town. The biggest town is way down here somewhere. Up there. Well, we can go and have a look at the biggest town. Not that it matters because I'm not going to get work from it. Budley Salterton. What a name. Who comes up with these names? That's supposed to be the biggest town on the map, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really matter for what I'm doing here because I primarily just want to show you these really cool mods. Got Magnetic Reapers industry mod and the Yeol industry mod. What I got interested in them because I was watching Danny Min messing around with them, and he had pretty much sussed, pretty cleared up on this stuff. And Danny has a look. I'm saying thank you, Danny, for what you've given us. I'm just going to make that a bigger road because try being the way he makes silly sounds going. Yeah. Right. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret right up front. I only have the use of operating with one hand, so I'm unable to use my keyboard and rat simultaneously. So, like I'm using my fingers on the keyboard there to do a N and an M. Now, well, that is a long station. I have a reason for doing this. When I was messing around with this yesterday, I was finding I want a large building. Back in the early days of Transport Fever, where some of the rolling stock doesn't carry very much cargo, so I don't like the look of that. So what we'll do, we'll get all technical here and we'll get rid of that ugly looking bit of land there. Yeah. So as time goes by, you can probably get away with shorter. But the reason why I started in 1850, well, is that I'll find it. Well, there's actually a garbage, a waste disposal place. But it has to, at the early stage you need to get in a landfill. Otherwise, for some reason, it doesn't seem to want to work properly if you don't have that fella. Obviously back in 1850 there. Where am I? I'm down here. They don't have recycling and all that sort of stuff. Excuse my squeaky chair. So we'll put in a, it's not for the passenger trains that I needed this so much, it was actually for the freight trains, which I was, you want to turn them around so they could turn around and go back in the opposite direction when they get to the end of the line, especially on a terminal. So I found I had to have, some of them actually, some of the trains got that many variations of freight to move. Some of these trains ended up sort of 400 and 500 metres long, and are hanging out past the end of the platform. But then you run into problems that they you get. I'm just going. What did I set that to? Did I set to 500 or 600? Hang on. Yeah, that's 640 metre long platform. So really, I can build a decent size freight train. What am I doing? Actually, I don't really want that like that because that's not gonna, it would work, but it's just not going to do what I want it to do. So just get rid of it a minute. Those white things are birds flying around if you have a look. See some sort of bird. A white bird. And they'll be doing droppings all over the ground just here somewhere, I would imagine. Now we want that. I want that. I can use this, but these don't go out to that full. They don't go. I can't stretch one of these beyond 300. And these are quite cool because you can choose the colour of the facade. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I want this one here. And we'll work within these. That gives me, allows me to bring in more trains with the extra lines, with 4 lines. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that. I want platforms first. Wish there was a faster way to do this. Like, let there be platform. I knew a platform would be cool. So we've got that part of the platform. Now I need to do. Now I need to replicate this for the Normally I would not start an 1850, but what I found is that if I start, I'm not sure what the landfill disappears from the industry list. It's possibly a period where I can come to, but normally I'd rather go in here and do high speed and electric rail, but until I can figure out what point that I can no longer add that landfill, even with the recycling, I still need to have landfill. So as yet I can't do that. I can't start in that later era. That was a big word, error. Not error, error. Specified time. Should I say specified time period. Got that. Now I want to duplicate. No, you don't need a second platform. Just need to duplicate the tracks. I need to keep an eye on that little clock here because that's telling me roughly how long I've been running. A third of an hour is roughly 20 minutes, so we're 20 minutes into this. Vacuum Tubers put up a mod which gives you all your statistics for the game. I'll pop that up and you have a quick brief look at it. It's handy, it's really great to have, but it's possibly a little bit overkill for what we do in the normal course of events. But when I'm doing a video, it's brilliant because I can actually keep track of the time. Keep these down to around 60 minutes would be good. See, you don't get a lot achieved in 20 minutes. We haven't even got the first station in yet. I think that's picked up from it. I actually might have because I did fire this up, but then I couldn't hear it in my headphones, and I had to break out because I was having problems with the audio. And I'm not sure if that actually resets to when I restarted the game, but anyway. It's neither here nor there. Now what we're going to do, you need to turn the train around it when it gets to the end of the line. Now, these are track patterns. You type in, you go to Steam, you type in, I think it's Enzojz, you'll come up with track patterns. It's kind of handy because he's actually got some really cool stuff. You'll see some of it. Now, because of what I'm going to be doing, I'll only get rid of that bit of road at this point in time. He also does where you can do multiple tracks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Now, unfortunately, this will not. You can't pull it through. I'm just trying to think where I'm going to. I think it's off this one. I'm going to grab it. We'll do a test and see what happens. 2 there, 2 there. Yeah, it's that one. Yep. You can see it just saves a bit of time. Particularly, it's handy if you're in a situation like me where you've only got the use of one arm, you know, or one hand or whatever you want to call it. The hand is connected to the arm. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to change direction a little bit. want to bring these down so it's just into 4 lines. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin that round this way. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm not going to explain it all. You can sort of see what I'm doing. As I'm going to be here for days if I start trying to explain every little thing I do. Now I'm going to do is that set all this up with double. You'll see in a second when I do that round back to back. No, I don't need that back to back at this stage. Anyway, but yeah, so now sometimes these connect, sometimes they don't. How do I end up with an extra line? Oh, 7. You're kidding me. I'm a line short all the way back to here. So what we'll do, delete, to rectify it all. Yeah, I can see what I've done wrong. Now we only need 2 here, so we can pull it back to 2. Some people might not find this particularly necessary, but I find this particular, oh, that's wrong. So you can still make mistakes. I'm not infallible. Even a person like me can make mistakes on rare occasions. So we put that extra line in to make sure we've got our 8 now. Here we go. Get up to here. Now, you want to double switch all these because you know, trains coming in all sorts of different angles. Those they won't that. You're just going to double slip switch them all. At all of them. One there. What that does, it allows the train to divert. Otherwise, you'll end up with they want to just track on straight ahead. Often, you know. But anyway, yeah. So you can sort of see what I'm doing there. Another thing he's put in here with this is this. Signals, yeah. Now, if you want your signals one way, because you don't, I mean, I prefer to have all my signals one way, so I've got more control. I want to auto signal it. I'm going to set these down to 400 meter apart. Now, make sure when you do this, when you do that, just check the direction of the lines traveling, because I'm actually doing this in British rail, using British rail style. Now, if you were using European or American, I think the trains actually travel on the opposite line in this direction. So always double check that you get this right. Usually, it's put them all the way through to there, which I think is pretty cool. Now our first stop is going to be up here somewhere, but we have a couple of towns over here, so we want to bring, oh, 1, 2, actually what'll happen, you can come here and that can go off to be a diversion, that can just be a branch line. What I'm going to do is and run this at 4, I'm going to come past this little knob here. Now, I'm not saying everything I do is the right way, it's just, for me it's a convenient way. But I can do what I want because it's my map. advantage of having your own map. Now, we've got towns off to we probably have, yeah, so I'm going to have to, within a short space of time, now with this here, you got to pull that back, you know, because you want the train to turn up at a reasonable, off at a reasonable fanged angle. And then I want, that gives me passenger as well as freight. Now I'll do it to the left. Actually, what I'll, no, I won't do that quite that close. What I'll do, now that I turn this other vacuum tube mod on, you see it tells me how far I've gone with the, I'll go out to 100 meters before I put that other set of switches in. Oh, we went to 102. There we go, we got our 100 meters. I just found, you know, this is my personal thing, I found that if you don't want the switches all cluttered up, otherwise you can get a little bit of a backlog as time goes on. So we've joined that onto there. And already we've got lines that are going to go up to here, and what I'll probably do is I'll come up here and I'll probably put a branch in. I can either put it in this side of the town or the other side, it doesn't really matter, but I've got to get over to here. We've got a little bit of industry over there. We want to service a town, you know. Or, I mean, at the end of the day, not every town is on a railway, you know, so which way around have I got those? There's another little trick in here. If you do get these wrong, and I will show you, where you can, if you've got trains travelling, you know, say your passenger line is, we don't want that, want that. Now these probably don't need to be quite as long. We're going to need I'll make it just make it 480. I'll pop that, then I can draw the road to it. But I can also, oh, did I? No, I didn't. Look at that. Didn't put a cargo building here. I want a big one. Okay, that's going to be a bit. This is why I'll explain something in a minute. I'll just get rid of that road so I can show you. Why I didn't line that station up to the road up the other side there. If you get a slight angle on something, sometimes it doesn't. You can't always squeeze the station buildings in. That's interesting. One's longer than the other. Not that it matters that much. So what I'll do here is I'll. It's not going to matter, but I really wanted the how these should hook up. Well, they should. Yeah, so it's connected that station to the road, And the same reason I've done it here, I won't put the road in until after I've got all the buildings in. We'll go through the same procedure again. I'm just keeping an eye up to 30 minutes, and I'm conscious of times videos that run too long tend not to get too many views, unless they're exceptional. Well, I'm not the most inspiring public speaker, so I like to be informative when I'm doing something, so I'll tend to take my time a little bit. Right. Tracks. These are actual different other speed tracks. Like this, I think this is the 120. This is like. I'm not slowing the train down as it comes. I can, if I wanted to, I could bring the train in here at I think down as low as what, 10 kilometres an hour, which to me just seems a little bit silly. Well, it's probably not if you want to be realistic. But all these mods are available on Steam, and there's a couple that are in here that were downloaded from transportfever.net. But I'm not going to say to people to go and get particular. I just say I am appreciative of the people that do make the mods. Now, yeah. One of the things I enjoy is model railway. I'll get it out in a minute. I was really going to say model railway, but that didn't sound right. I got my tongue caught around my eye teeth and I couldn't see what I was saying. Now we've got a road there which is in the way. We want a cargo building here. I've got some other little buildings here. Just do that one and that one. Just to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I've given up being aesthetically pleasing to the ear. It doesn't work right now. I'm pretty sure these crosses won't. Oh, that's not what I want. Great Wally. Yeah, no, they're not going to fit in there. They're going to get caught up. So this is easy to fix. Actually, these actually work best at 7, I found. But again, the double switch. I'll switch on so that way you don't end up with any. Another thing with this here, I'll show you something. Like I like my passenger trains to come and try to be on as straight a line as possible right from the outset. Because later in the game we're going to get to high-speed trains, and then you've got the hassle of trying to straighten lines up, take some of the kinks out of them. Mind you, there are times that I like to have curves, if I'm going around a hill. Oh, I'm going off course. The surveyors haven't done a very good job here, have they? And that brings it in as close. Now I don't mind having a problem. Because freight trains generally are not. A freight train is generally not what we would consider to be a high-speed train. It can be, but for all intents and purposes on my map, which is my map and I'll do it my way. It doesn't really matter that much. Let me think. Yeah, stop hassling me, leave me alone for a minute. Okay, we signal all our way back up to there. The one thing we haven't done as yet, we've not, even though it's my map, we're not doing a blow a hole in here. Like that. I'm going to go to this. I'm not going to go to that. What am I doing? Why can't I see my... I don't know. Sometimes I do this. I mean, I'm right on the end of the line. It doesn't really matter. I'll spin that round the other way. It's facing the wrong way now. And see, we want to be able to get trains out onto these lines. I can do it as 2 at a time. I could do it as 4 at a time. On some of these short lines, it doesn't. It's really short. It doesn't always want to. It doesn't always want to cooperate. Go single here. Or just. See, I don't know. I don't like that. But I don't like doing. Doesn't look like I got much choice in the matter, does it? I'm stuck with it. It's possibly the damage was done through me bulldozing. Goes away as we fix it. As I say, sometimes the pulling multiple lines doesn't always want to. Now how do we get around this? Now, when you've got 8 lines, you're coming in with 4, right? So you start here with 4. I'm doing this to put in a depot, right? Now there is a method to my madness, and bear with me. Now we've got 6, we've got 8. There we go, isn't that beautiful? Absolutely awesome. There we go, we don't go there. We can go back to this and we're going to actually reduce this to 2. What I'm doing is proving that I'm a mathematical genius by doing this part. Well, not really, but it sounds good. We don't want 8, we want I want 4. Okay, you're going to be flaming awkward, aren't you? Yeah, look at that. Look at that a minute. I learned how to bulldoze watching Colonel Failure. He's really good at bulldozing. In fact, I'd say he's the bulldozing expert. King of bulldozing. It's amazing what you learn from people as you observe them. I don't like that dangle there. It'll be awkward. I'm going to have to come back a bit further because I've got to try and marry this all up. Wow, okay. Another way around this. Back to here. How would I like to see it? I'd like to see it like that. Now, I can come back a smidge further. I'm trying to watch this, but I'm also looking out the window. There's a van pulled up on the opposite side of the road. I don't have a street, I have a road. That looks more even. Oh no. Wunderbar. Yeah. Now back to this. Oh, you drib off. Not really liking that. Let's to get my depot, and I might have to put it on an angle or the dangle. Now we're going to go out too. It is being incredibly annoying to me. I'll do my Colonel Failure impersonation. There I go. But it doesn't matter what angle. Get off my railway line, you big ant. Now I'll put a bit of a kink here. I think I'm going to end up losing a house. The wee house is going to go missing. I didn't load all my fancy, a bit annoying. Okay. Let's just be ridiculously clever here. I could. This would just create traffic nuisance, but anyway. Put the depot there, and then it's going to annoy the residents. Now why are you doing that? I don't normally have this problem. To this level I normally have problems, but not to this level. You moron. I don't know why. That is not strictly true. I do know why. Because I've got uneven terrain. That looks cool. Train will come out and do this loop. Strange loopy thing. It'll be very loopy. Right, we have that figured out. So the trains don't sort of get all stagnated and when they're coming out of the depot. Right, there's that one. Where does it split next up here? I mean, we want that to go out that one. That gives us two out. Now, back to the slip. And we need a invariably, when you see can't find line, it's usually one of these slip switches not set correctly or not set to the open position. What is causing the grief? And watching videos, I often see, and I think you want to yell at the people, hey, set your slip switches, you know, because you can sort of see where the problem lies, but there's no point yelling at them because they can't hear you. To the best of my knowledge, they can't anyway. Right, here we go. Now, you do want to put one, you don't want the train sitting way back there if you can help it, so you really want to, now remember you always have to every second line. And what we're going to do at this point, I'm not going to even really name these lines, I could, but I just want to prove a point here with what I've done. Now, blue is the passenger service. And see that I've got the line coming, and he's probably not going to do anything for a start, but I can prove a point. There's a method to my madness. And because now I don't know if you can see that. I can see an issue here because I want the train to continue on in the British rail style of line. You don't want it switching over because otherwise it's going to pull on the wrong side of the platform. You want to pull it to the left side, the left platform. You go back to there, and now they should run. And what I'll do. I'm going to set two little trains running here. When I've done this, I'm probably going to take a bar rake. You know what a bar rake is. Then we'll come back and do another video. 1, 2, 3. Oh, these aren't going to carry any passengers. Oh, we'll do. Really wanted two, didn't I? Look down here. This is where it gets tricky. You want to be able to include all these, some of these items, and yeah, at this point in time we don't do copper, but I don't want that here. I'll make them a little quick. I think this one here takes 5, that one takes 4. Well, you've got to be careful here because I don't think this one here takes mail. No, it doesn't. So you need a couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And you might see what I'm already up to 79 meters in length there. That there's a bit of a safety. That little 4-plank wagon. Carry pretty much most swings, and because it comes with a cover over it, and they wish to cover. Now that is for. Is it the only oil wagon I have? I think it is. Yeah. Now these take a bit more variety than that one, I think. That's glass, which will come up later. We don't produce glass for several years here. Two, 3, 4. I'm a noisy Mitsubishi. Now, these are an interesting one. They'll move livestock fodder, basically which is hay or silage. I always like to chuck a couple of them on because we want to move stuff to and from farms. We need to be able to transport that. Now that little, it's just a smaller version of the one at the top there, I think. Yeah, that one's 5. We got 4 of those on there, but we want 2 of these trains. Now nothing's left the depot, if you notice, because I'm still in pause. Well, I didn't come out of pause when I hit the space bar. Nothing still comes out of the depot. Oi! Am I having a problem here? Why are those trains not leaving? Ah, I know why. Excusing me. Now these first 2 are the passenger service, aren't they? So they need to be assigned to a line. These 2 are for the freight line. They need to be assigned to a line. If you don't assign things to a line, then they don't know where to go. So they'll just sit there and stare at you and do stupid stuff. Now you'll notice that these when I've used these, I could have turned off the electric, which I forgot to do. That you can actually turn the electric, the Kendarary off if you want to when you're installing, but I forget to occasionally, and clearly I forgot here. I've also got a thing in here called timetables, which I can set all these trains to run at specific times from this end platform here. That's a bit repetitious. We really want to see them work. We want to see this come out here. The line 1 is, now that train's got these passenger trains. Now if those 2, I mean, they can navigate out to there, and that's why I tend to do this. And with these track maps installed, this just gets so much easier, you know, with all these double slips. You don't have to draw. You're not having to try and pull them in by hand. You know, they're already made up. Like I can send, but doing this method, most times all I ever have is one train depot on a map. I can have branch lines way down the end here, at the opposite end, and still navigate using that slip switch system, or just like it would in real life, right? They don't have big train depots like this all around the countryside, you know, and at every industry. He joins the line. Oh, bit of a sharp turn there. Yeah, so basically there's a method to my madness. I've got to put this back in here. Remember I cut it? Do you remember? I vaguely remember me cutting it. That is that line, that road, isn't it? I hadn't widened it. So I might widen it while I'm doing it. Now, the good old M key. Now I don't like my bridges sitting up miles high, and sometimes they look ugly. Now I can live with that fella. Well, that explains why. Didn't have it turned over properly. A nice little hook as we come onto the... It's interesting, the coal mine's over there. Coal mine then is a steel mill there, so where's the... Some of these steel mills you'll know, like that one, not that one, but there are others which are now producing the slag which gets used in Conmat. When you've got these signal switches in here, sometimes these signals don't connect up. You might be asking why I'm doing that. Because down the track we're going to want a train to go around the curve. Again, why do you put a signal here? Elementary there, Watson. The moment the train clears that signal, it releases that set of points. Might sound silly, but it actually works. Sometimes they will release automatically, but not on every occasion. It's just something. I mean, it goes all the way back to train fever, messing around. So old habits die hard, you know. So for those of you who are only into Transport Fever 2, prior to Transport Fever 1, we had train fever, which was just trains. And not, I mean, you had all the other vehicles, but not to the. Well, that hey, look at that. That train's coming out on the right line, right? Let's just... Yep, the freight's the yellow, right? Even with that sort of messy looking thing we have there, everything entered the line correctly. Here's one of our construction. This one's kind of interesting. It takes stone or plank or bricks or plank or which produces 2 combat. And what happens now? Yeah, because the consumer isn't actually the town. It goes off to a an industrial park and becomes blue. It takes on a tool. Then, along with the tool, it will be delivered to our map. Like this town here takes the commercial, which is that one, and the industrial. And the easiest way to sort of find out what goes where is to do this. You can sort of see the yellow, right? And as long as you're in stick pointing distance, you're right, you know. Look at that. You don't got to go and put in 10 million depots. You can't use these because there's garbage there to pick up. These won't let you pick up garbage. Again, that was a little thing that I probably would have tried it and failed miserably. And Danny Min brought it up, you know. Got to say big thanks to Danny there, big call out, because yeah, it was watching his videos. You know, I wasn't watching the Around the World one so much, but it was his videos on the industry mods that got me interested in this part. Mind you, I've had a quick look at his other videos. All of his videos are great. Some great videos out there. Then obviously that was just for the industrial stuff. Okay, you've got your. Now you're moving two items out of here, right? Now if you have a look, you can see the mail. There's 2 types. You've got in mail and out mail. That one I'm not going to even try and explain that one at this point. It's a little bit more tricky. Well, we didn't put a road up to here, so people can't pile on the train as they wanted to. So what we need to do, because invariably we're going to want to widen the roads, I always try to go to this road up, otherwise you've got to do a whole lot of demolishing and stuff later. Get that connection. Now, without even having a bus route, because people back in the 1850s knew they had legs, and they would use their legs, and they would walk small distances to catch the train, you know. Unlike some people today, where if you say them walk 100 metres, you'd think you've just set them on a marathon. Now, if you're one of those people, that's not my problem. This is my map, and I'll do my map my way. Now I need to connect this up. If you think I'm picking on you, you want to meet me in real life. I really pick on you. I'm a bully. Look at the elevation there. Not too high. Now, what we'll do is we'll upgrade that bit of road, upgrade how far is that going to go out into the wop-wops? It'll go out past the black stump. In fact, we'll put a black stump on there just to be. It's not the black stump one. It's not really, it's a Joshua tree, whatever a Joshua tree is. Did Ingo have the black stump? Somewhere there's a tree that looks like a broken off tree trunk, which to me always looks like the black stump. Our black stump can be a Joshua tree. Okay, I've lost the tree. If anybody sees a missing tree, chances are it belongs to me, and I would appreciate it being returned. That's technically my black stump, alright? We got the road there. Hang on, let's just connect this up. In reality, I live out there somewhere. If that was the back stump, I'm out over here. Oh, we've got that connected. Now you never know. These people might just, if you want to see people move fast, there is a thing out here now in the industries. Well, a customs warehouse, and as you can see, it spawns people. I'll show you that. I don't want to stick it too close to there. Otherwise it goes mental. It has a nervous breakdown producing people. Technically what it represents is people coming, I mean, if, later in the game you've got an airport or something like that. It represents people coming off the map onto your map. Look at them, and they just appear like ants. If you ask them where they live, she clears her throat. Most of the times, a residential building is that. So she's come off the map somewhere, and who was she? Some old Violet Johnson, some old Sheila. We even got a cripple. Maybe he's a happy cripple. He's whistling. I've noticed a light has been. They're not on there. That dude works fine. And that one, the other one doesn't. He's chasing down that blonde Sheila. Don't have got much hope of picking her up. But anyway. So yeah, and what happens is that they spawn there and they come back to there. And they'll go all around your map. Now you don't want to overkill that, but so what you would do, because there's also import and export building that is in part of these mods, and you have to import it at one end and you export the other. Basically they're just goods that are in transit from, you know, hypothetically what it means is there's another land out here, and you've got another land that's off the map. You could, if you want to be really crazy, you could have another land out here. You could have several of these and just ship stuff to these other lands which you can't see. You know, that no, we're not moving. Anyway, I've been going over an hour, so I'm going to call this one episode 1. And you can call it whatever you like, but I call it episode 1, and that's it for now. I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye. Well, okay, was he got no path? I didn't do the slip switches then, did I? That's why he has no path. Or I've got a signal in the wrong spot somewhere. You know, I'll find that, and there it is there, see there? Look at that, and I've got to be careful now I don't blow a big hole. And now you've got a path. Should be, it's the same about making sure when you do that, you cross over nicely. Wow, I went for 1.2 hours, which now he turns around, it's all fixed. And that means I can leave you and start another episode. Or do something a bit more and then come back with another episode anyway. I'll talk to you then. Have a good day. Or night, whichever it might be. I am not going to surmise on that. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. I'll hit the pause button and I'll turn you off. Bye.